Alrighty, so what we're demonstrating today is how to make this faded gargantuan light become slightly less faded and gargantuan and kind of pretty. So this is before, this is after. That's kind of redundant and obvious, but there you go. So what I ended up doing, I'll move that out of the way and start with this. And first I rinsed this all off and kind of gave it a quick clean. Get most of that road grime and all that nonsense off. Nothing really important. And then I started with, okay, so this is 1500 sandpaper. And basically what you're going to end up doing is just trying to get all the large scratches and imperfections out. You want to shine this up like a gem. Now the only reason I'm starting with 1500 is it's already in really good shape to begin with. It's just dirty for the most part and fading. And what I'll end up doing is a bit of a crisscross pattern. That's where I can see where my work has started and where it began. And that way I know that I got every square inch of this that's exposed anyways. And hopefully when finished, make it look like a brand new product instead of the faded deal that it was. And you're basically going to keep going on this until the cloudiness starts to dissipate. And what I mean by that is eventually the sandpaper is going to not cut so much as it used to when you first started. And so it's going to be cutting through that oxidized layer. And once it starts getting to that degree, you move on to the next grit sandpaper, which in this case is going to be 2000. And I'm not after complete perfection, I'm just after good enough. Make it better than it was so it can be seen and will work better for its intended purpose. Now this is 2000 grit sandpaper, so it's a little finer. And the whole goal is basically to remove the 1500 grit sand scratches. So I'm first going to go with some vertical scratches, making sure to keep my surfaces flat and try my best to stay away from the edges. Also, when your hands start getting tired, being ambidextrous does come in handy. Alrighty. Rinse it off. Have a nice clean towel. And then what you should end up seeing is a pretty uniform cloudiness. That's from all the scratches you just caused. And so, you see right there, it's pretty much covered almost every square inch of that thing, and that's what we want. Don't worry, I'll get to this. Now, next phase, I go to 3000 grit, in this case on a Ryobi drill. This is part of the kit from 3M. And no, they're not sponsoring. Same idea, try and keep away from the edges. Crisscross pattern, and try to have it on a medium setting. Now it doesn't go away from you and you don't end up burning into things. And you're wet sanding, so keep it wet. Now, you can already see that it's already less faded. It's still faded, it's uniform, but it's almost see-through. It's already getting there. And that's just with one pass. I'm going to give it at least 2. Okay, so now, again, clean section of the towel. That's why I always fold it in fourths. And again, we're not going after absolute perfection. This is just to make it better than it was. And already, it's almost like glass, almost see-through. That's what we want. Yes, there's some minor imperfections and stuff like that, but we're not after perfection. If I was, I would have dropped all the way to 500 grit, 800 grit, 1500 grit, 2000 grit, 3000, and then finishing with the polishing compound. But in this case, it's a part that you're hardly ever going to see, but you need to be able to see out of. Okay. Now to use the polishing compound. Put a generous amount. Use about a dime or so. That's what the instructions claim, is a dime on the deal. Polishing head in this case. And then kind of just smush it around a little bit, kind of evenly first. This is to kind of help prevent splatter, which unfortunately has kind of happened before. All right, so in this case, find a clean piece of the towel, wipe off the excess, see what we're dealing with right here. And first just wipe off the excess. Then with another clean towel, if you're convinced it's pretty much at the finishing point, yeah, a really nice clean one, it hasn't been used at all. And just give this a nice polish and clean. Alrighty, and lo and behold, there's the after, and here's the after. At least now they can be used, and now they can be seen down the road instead of a few feet in front. This has been Daly's tips of how not to do it. Enjoy.